guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a springtime makeup look for you, and this look is a very easygoing, fresh-faced look, and I think it will look great with a lot of different skin tones. So first I am going to add a little bit of Strobe Cream, and if you watched my Flawless foundation routine, you know I love this stuff. It just transforms dull, tired-looking skin, especially from this past winter, into radiant, kind of luminous skin. So I'm just going to work that on all the high points of my face with my fingertips. For primer today, I'm going in with the Tarte Cosmetics Clean Slate Poreless 12-Hour Perfecting Primer. I'm just kind of placing this on the T-zone of my face to fill in any textures or pores, and I like to press it in pressing motions just so it fills in those areas and creates a nice barrier between my skin and the makeup. Because I am going in with BB cream today, yes, I said BB cream, this one is by MAC Cosmetics in the shade Light, and this is the BB cream in the compact version. So this one is good for drier skin. It's a little bit more creamy and easy to work with. It's not going to dry so it looks flaky or weird on the skin. I love it a lot. I'm just going to be pressing it in with my Sigma F80 kabuki brush and then buffing it out in circular motions until I have the desired coverage that I would like. I love using this BB cream in the warmer months just because it's super easy to work with and it's lightweight, and it also protects you from the sun with the SPF 30 that's already in it. To prime my lids and prep them for shadow, I'm going to be going with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is my favorite. It kind of conceals my eyelids and also helps prevent creasing and helps my shadow last longer. So I'm just going to buff that all over my lid up to my brow and then a little bit underneath as well, because I will be adding shadow to the lower lash line. Before I go with any of the actual eyeshadows that I'm going to be using on my eyes, I just like to set that paint pot using a cream colored eyeshadow. This one is by MAC Cosmetics in the shade Blanc type. You can use whatever you have. It's just going to make the other shadows blend in a little bit easier. I'm going in with MAC Cosmetics Bamboo eyeshadow and dusting that in my upper crease. This is going to serve as a transition color, and I think transition colors are totally necessary. It's just going to make all the other shadows blend in a little bit easier, and it's going to transition a little bit smoother. You just want to go into something 2 to 3 shades darker from your natural skin tone. And now I'm going in with my Tartelette palette. I did do a full review on this palette. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. The color I'm picking up is the shade Wanderer in the palette, and I'm just dusting that in my crease using my Sigma E25 blending brush. This is similar to the MAC 217. I'm just sweeping it back and forth and kind of switching up between sweeping and circular motions. Now I'm just going to buff everything out using my same Sigma E40 with no additional product, so there are no harsh lines. Going in with the MAC Cosmetics Jest eyeshadow, I'm just going to press that all over my lid area. It's kind of a nice peachy champagne color, and I'm using my MAC Cosmetics. It is the 242 flat shader brush, and I am just pressing that all over my lid. You want to press this and really push it into the lid so it gets as much color payoff. Now I'm just going to mist the brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. You can also use eye drops, those work just as well. And I am going to press on a little bit more of that Jest color, and it's just going to intensify the shimmer. To ensure there are no harsh lines, I'm just picking up that same Sigma E25 blending brush and just running that back and forth in my crease with no additional product. Now I'm going to use that same brush and pick up the shade Dreamer from the Tartelette palette, and I'm really going to focus this color on the outer V, and I'm just going to kind of slightly push it into my crease but not going too far in at all. I'm kind of keeping it on the outer third of my eye. And I love the tape method just so I can really run the darkest color along that and then fade it upwards. Since this look is very fresh face and easy going, you can totally skip this step, but I'm going to add a little bit of concealer underneath my eye area and kind of highlight my face a little bit using it too. This one is by MAC Cosmetics, and it is the Prolongwear concealer in NW15. This is my all-time favorite concealer. It doesn't crease, settle into any fine lines or wrinkles, and it is very long wearing. And I'm just going to press that from inner corner all the way up towards my temple, and then I'm going to just even out that highlight a little bit with going in between my eyebrows, above my upper lip and chin, and then I'm going to blend it out using my damp beauty blender. Since I tend to be a little bit more heavy-handed with concealer, I love using a damp beauty blender just because it picks up any extra product that might be sitting on my face. And then it will prevent my under eye area from looking crepey or cakey or anything like that. So I just love it so much. And then I like to use the pointed end because I can get up in those little areas that are sometimes hard to reach with a brush. To set all that, I'm going in with MAC Cosmetics Shaping Powder, and this one is in the shade Emphasize. I love the shaping powders for setting the under eye areas, just because there is a shade for every skin tone to get everything bright and lifted. And to set the rest of my face, I'm going with my favorite Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. I love this powder for setting a liquid foundation. I just think it is so finely milled and it just looks beautiful on the skin, and it's super affordable. And the brush I'm using is by Sigma. It is the F30. Moving back over to the eyes, I'm picking up a flat definer brush. This one is from Morphe and the color Dreamer from the Tartelette palette. I'm just going to run that along my lower lash line, kind of pressing it very tightly against it. And to buff it out, I'm going to take the color Wanderer that we also used on the upper part of the eyes, and I'm just going to run that back and forth with a pencil brush until it is buffed out to how I like it. After you're done buffing out that lower lash line, go ahead and tightline. I'm using the LA Girl Gel Liner in the shade Very Black. This is going to make your lashes appear a little bit thicker, especially since I'm not going to be using a liquid liner. Pop on some mascara, and now we are ready for some falsies. I am using the Cocoa Lashes in the style 101s. These ones are a little bit shorter. They're kind of like a shorter version of the Red Cherry number 43s. After I'm done applying my adhesive, I wait 30 to 60 seconds for the glue to get tacky, and I press them kind of in the center first, then the outer corner, and then the inner corner of my eye, and you want to get them as close as your natural lashes as possible without being actually on them. And then to get them even closer, what I like to do is grab a pair of tweezers and just pinch down that band. Especially since I'm not using any liquid liner, I like to make sure that they are very, very close so they aren't obvious that they are falsies. Looking back on the footage, I have no idea why I always do my brows last. It's just part of my routine, I guess. First, I'm just going to brush up my hairs with a spoolie just so I can see that shape. And now I'm going to take my MAC 208 angled brush and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and I'm just going to carve out that lower part of my brow. I don't like to start all the way in because I don't want the inner part to be very, very intense and look drawn on. So I start kind of where it starts to go up, and I just draw a line and extend it out a little bit to make my brows a little bit longer. Once I'm done with the bottom half, I go onto the top and I kind of do the exact same thing. And when I'm going towards the tail of the brow, I bring the upper half to meet with the lower half, so I only have one line. Once I start working on the front of the brow, I like to use just any additional product that is left on the brush after I've got a majority of it off. Now I'm just going to build up the center part because I picked up a little bit more product and kind of slowly fade it towards the front. And you just want to use small, soft strokes and kind of mimic the hairs. I find using smaller, softer strokes, it's a little bit easier to control the brush, and it also gives you more of a faded gradient look. If anyone wants to see a more in-depth brow routine video, then let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. And the last thing I like to do to my brows is set them in place with a clear brow gel. This one's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's my favorite one. I think it works so well and it just glues those babies in place. Now I'm just adding a little mascara to my lower lashes and picking up the color Zephyr by Urban Decay. I'm just going to highlight that brow bone. This will just really finish off the eye look and add a little bit more lift to the eye. So I went ahead and added my bronzer and contour off camera because I used the exact same things that were in my Flawless foundation routine. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it down below. It was my latest one. For the blush, I am using my ColourPop Cosmetics blush in the shade Thumper. It is a gorgeous pink color. It just reminds me of like Easter and spring. And I'm applying that with my Luxie Beauty contour brush. I'm just kind of pressing it and swirling it around the apples of my cheeks and dusting it back into my hairline. And of course buffing everything out with my same powder brush just so there are no harsh lines. For highlight today, I'm using a MAC Cosmetics pigment, and I love using pigments as highlights. I think they're gorgeous. This one is in the shade Vanilla, and I'm just tapping it along my upper cheekbones, around my eyebrow, and then throughout the center of my face and on my Cupid's bow to even everything out. If you haven't tried using a pigment as a highlight, I'll link a few down below for other skin tones. It's so awesome. I love doing it. And I'm just going to buff everything out a little bit further. This is a Real Techniques blush brush, so there are no harsh edges or splotchy areas. I'm adding a little bit of lip primer, and I'm going in with 2 OCC lip tars, and one is called Flamingo, which is kind of an orangey coral color, and then the other one is a cool tone pink called Digitalis, and I'm just mixing them together and putting it on my lips using my finger. You definitely don't need to use 2 of them. I just wanted to because that is the fun part about using lip tars. You can mix them and create your own custom shade that you like. And I'm going to just set my makeup and finish everything off using my Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. And here is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this more natural makeup tutorial, and if you did, give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!